Hey, welcome to the Climbing Daily Wednesday news show. My name is Hugo Pilcher, and on today's show we have got a plethora of sport climbing news, as well as some very cool videos. It's going to be a good show. But first up, I'm going to do a little shop promotion at the start of the show, like I did last week, but I'm going to do it again. Anyway, this week's offer on the shop, if you buy 2 pairs of climbing shoes, so for example, this La Sportiva Attacchi and this 510 XI, you will get 15% off your order if you enter in this code, that one. So head over to the EpicTV shop, enter in that code once you buy 2 pairs of climbing shoes, and yeah, that's a deal. Right, on to the sport climbing news. Julia Charnaudy has made her second ascent of 9A, making an ascent of Moulasson in Moulins-sur-Uvez in southeast France. The route starts with a 70+ boulder, moving into an overhanging section with resistance. This is Julia's second ascent of the grade after she sent Ground Zero 9A at Trois de Sart last year. Seb Bouin has made the first ascent of the French Chilombalum, a route he calls Les Yeux plus gros que l'Ontre, and given it a grade of 9A+/9B. The route is 70 meters and located in Russin, Languedoc-Roussillon, southeast France. Seb is one of the hardest climbers climbing in the world right now and is just back off trying change the 9B+ Adamandia route in Norway. In Margalef, Spain, Stefano Ghisolfi is attempting his Perfecto Mundo project. But in a day off from his project, Stefano managed to send Gancho Perfecto. This is the easier line of his Perfecto Mundo project, which he was taking a day off from due to cutting his finger. Not bad for a rest day's end. Meanwhile, Stefano has 1 day left on his project. Could it be another contender for the 9B counter? Roland Hemmetsberger has made the first ascent of a new sport route in Kleiten, Austria. He's called it Mantra and given it a grade 9A. He bolted the route 7 years ago and has finally managed to send it. If you haven't heard of Roland, he is arguably the strongest weekend warrior in the world. He's a full-time Black Diamond employee who has bagged a handful of 9As in and around where he lives in Innsbruck. As well as that, he's climbed one of the hardest multi-pitch routes in the world, Wogu, all the while working in the marketing team at Black Diamond. So really impressive news there, and I want to kind of highlight Roland Hemmetsberger there, the last story that I spoke about. He's working full-time at Black Diamond and he's still like sending super hard 9As. He climbed an amazing multi-pitch called Wogu last year, which is kind of seen as like one of the hardest like multi-pitch routes in Europe. And I personally know Roland, and so I kind of like think he for me is like of the weekend warriors that I know, he's like the guy sending the hardest. But this is kind of like the discussion point I wanted to open up this week. And obviously Matt's not here, so I want you guys to discuss it. Who is your, the person that you know, who do you think is like the hardest, strongest weekend warrior in the world right now? My vote is with Roland. Let me know what you think in the comments. If Matt was here, he'd probably say it was him, but he's not. So let's open up the discussion a little bit. Right, in last week's episode, Diego Raquiman asked us about an update from the crew from Oliana. Now, I'm kind of assuming you're talking about like Annalena Leitonen, Daniel Woods, John Cardwell, all that kind of guys. So, in like the fact we didn't do it last week, and we kind of normally do it because they've been sending hard and they've been doing loads of different stuff, I'm gonna give you a little update of where they are with their projects. Annalena is working Joe Sita 9A. This is kind of exciting as it would be her first route in the 9th grade if she can get it. Daniel Woods is having a break from first round, first minute 9B to have a go on Joe Mama 9A+, which he has made some moves on. John Cardwell has had a bit of an injury scare where his knee popped while climbing a route. He's still climbing though, he's just taken a step back from the harder climbs. Joe Kinder is currently on Papachulo 9A+ and making good progress. So there you go, there's news from the crew in Oliana. Hopefully there'll be some sends, and by this time next week we'll have some more news of sends rather than just like updates of where they are in the routes. Right, next up, it's the 9B counter. Right, there have been some very close calls in the 9B counter, but nobody's actually made a 9B. Seb Bouin made a 9A+/9B. That doesn't count. It has to be a clean 9B, people, okay? We're talking 9Bs, no 9A+, 9Bs. Anyway, still the same. Okay, so videos this week on Epic TV, we have got the second episode of Nate Murphy's Yosemite vlog type series coming tomorrow. The first episode dropped last Thursday. He's basically taken on this route called the Shaft in Yosemite. It's an 8A+ multi-pitch route. He's way out of his comfort zone, but can he send it? Here's a teaser.
Check the smoke out in the valley. Should be able to see all of this stuff. You can still see it coming over the top. It's crazy smoky. This thing, look at that line. It's morning. I want to sleep more.
Looks exciting, and we're all on tenterhooks to see if he can actually send it. Right, next up, I found this amazing video on YouTube the other day. Granted, you kind of have to have an appreciation of Wes Anderson if you want to get all the references and the gags, but this guy is called Fraser Gust, is a little bit of a genius. I'm always kind of on the lookout for like climbing videos which kind of try and do something a little bit different, and this kind of, by doing the same as like a feature film, has kind of done a little bit different. Anyway, here's a quick teaser.
This is the coastline of Mornington. This area is littered with small boulders and crumbly cliffs that a desperate few have tried to climb. Along the coast there is bouldering to be found here, here, here and here.
Okay, so if you have watched any of Wes Anderson's back catalogue, then you'll probably get the references. If not, like most of the people in the office that I showed this to the other day, you won't get it. But yeah, it's in the handpicked for the web section on Epic TV. Go and check it out, and then check out actually his YouTube channel as well. He's really, really good. Right, last up, we've got the Latitude Zero episode 4, which has just dropped. Here's a little teaser. So that is definitely on my bucket list of things to do. Go to Ecuador and go climbing. I never even thought that it was a thing, but after having seen that series, it looks insane. Also, I'd probably want to take my drone as well, because there's some pretty spectacular scenery out there. Anyway, that is it. Let me know what you think of the show in the comments below. Next week we'll be back with Matt, so I'm sure that will be good news for some and great news for others. In the meantime, have a great week, and I'll see you next week. Bye.